I'm really pleased to be here today with the board members and foster parents with the Newfoundland and Labrador Foster Families Association, with Mr. Allan Hawco, Child, Youth and Family Services staff, and other guests. We have here Paul Lane from Mount Pearl South. We have Leslie Penny, who is Steve Kent's constituency assistant in Mount Pearl North, and we have John Din from the District of Kilbride. The Premier sends her best wishes. She was hoping to be here today, but something came up that she couldn't. But she's certainly here in heart. It is because of her support, particularly in the budget as well, that we're here today to have the funds to do this. And she really believes in what we're doing in Child, Youth and Family Services, and we could not do what we're doing without her and Cabinet support. So it's really exciting to be here to celebrate the official launch of Foster a Future, Foster a Child Today campaign. I hope you've enjoyed taking in the creative elements of the multimedia campaign so far this morning, and I look forward in just a few minutes to introducing the additional campaign elements. I believe the elements of this campaign will strike a chord with the people of our province, who are known for their generosity and kindness. Foster a Future, Foster a Child Today will inspire them to get involved and join in the collective effort needed to ensure the safety and well-being of our children and youth in care. This new recruitment campaign comes at a time when there's a critical need for more foster parents in all communities throughout Newfoundland and Labrador. Our government recognizes how important it is for children and youth in care to have access to nurturing and supportive home environments when they are unable to live with their biological parents. The value of the compassionate care provided to vulnerable children and youth by foster parents, like those present here this morning, is immeasurable, and it is why the provincial government is addressing this critical shortage of foster homes in our province with this campaign. In the coming weeks, you will see the Foster a Future, Foster a Child Today campaign rollout, with advertisements in newsprint, on the radio, and on television. Brochures and posters will also be readily available, and a new website, www.fosterafuture.ca, will provide potential foster parents with information on becoming foster parents. Additionally, all of these creative materials you see here today will be available on the website. Advertisements speak directly to the need for more foster homes and feature children and youth that are much like the ones that require out-of-home placement. Broadcast advertisements also feature Allan Hawco, who I would like to thank very much for taking the time out of his very busy schedule from the Republic of Doyle show to help us make such a significant impact with this campaign. By the time they first realize it's Allan, the second time they watch the commercial, they'll realize it's about foster children. Hope I don't get in trouble for that. I would now like to introduce the 30-second video television spot that will start broadcasting on Monday, which perfectly captures our goal of creating awareness around the issue and encouraging people to start the process of becoming foster parents. A lot of work has gone into this to this point. We work very closely with Diane Molloy and her team at the Foster Families Association. We've worked very closely with the consultants and our staff and myself. We went out to see one of the shoots. It's been very hands-on, and we think we've come up with a product that really captures what it is we're trying to achieve, and that is a call to action. We really want people to understand what the issue is and then encourage them to pick up the phone and call, and that's when our social workers will step in and do the rest and help them out with information. So I hope you like it. We really do, and we'll see what you think after.
Today, across our province, we have a critical shortage of foster homes.
Homes like yours, safe, warm, and caring. Homes where I can play,
learn, and grow. Where we can stay
together for a week,
a month, or longer, and feel protected and secure.
Please, open your heart and your home. Foster a future. Foster a child today.
It's a 30-second video. I think it says a whole lot in 30 seconds, and I saw some people going like this. So hopefully that means you liked it. Yes? And thank you so much to Spark Marketing for being very patient with us along the way. People don't realize it in a 30-second video, but there's a lot of nitpicking that goes on between different words, and they were very easy to work with. And as for the mic, Plan B worked out better than Plan A. So I would now like to invite Diane Molloy, Executive Director of the Newfoundland and Labrador Foster Families Association, to bring greetings. Please welcome Diane.
Thank you, Minister Johnson. I did a lot of thinking about what I would say today when I brought greetings, and I could say lots, but I only have so much time. So I guess I want to focus on two things. And I want to start by bringing regrets from the chair of our board, Ruby Ellsworth, who wasn't able to make it today. Ruby has her priorities straight. She's on a Caribbean cruise celebrating her birthday. And I guess I also want to start by thanking Allan as well. We really appreciate you being part of our campaign. And as Minister Johnson had said, we really do believe that this campaign will open the hearts and homes of Newfoundlanders and Labradorians, from Netwashish to Goose Bay to Sheshashi to Roddington, right across this island. And I'm going to focus on two things, and I'm going to be brief. And one is partnership. And this campaign has been a partnership between our association, and when I say our association, I'm speaking about foster families throughout our province who we represent. Their voices have been heard. In 2009, when the government created a new government Department of Child, Youth and Family Services, our board at that time felt it was a real turning point for foster care in the province. It was renewed optimism. We were looking forward to good things happening, and we haven't been disappointed. From the foster home survey to the new continuum of care to government funding our national conference in June, we've had a fabulous working relationship. And I want to give thanks to the Department of Child, Youth and Family Services, to Minister Johnson and all her staff for the work that they do every day on behalf of children in care and families and on behalf of our foster families. And I also want to thank Premier Dunderdale and all the members of the House of Assembly, because we were in the House of Assembly in June when MHA Steve Kent put forward a private member's motion. And I've been in the House many times, and I've never seen every MHA stand and support a motion that went through the House. And that to me also indicates that foster care is a priority for everyone who sits in government, whichever side where they sit, and I really felt that needed to be acknowledged as well. The other two things I'm going to say, I want to talk about what this campaign will mean for the most important people. And the most important people are the children. And what this campaign will mean, children may now be able to stay in their own home communities. They may be able to stay in their own cultures. They may not have to be separated from their siblings or leave their school. That we will have enough foster homes throughout the province so that when a child comes into care, they can stay close to mom and dad, and they can stay close to their school, and they can do the things that need to be done so they can be reunified with their family. And I want to talk about the next most important group. And I heard one of our foster parents say, while we were waiting, that there's a lot of important people here today. And I want to say to every foster parent in this room that the most important people here today are you. Because you're the backbone of the foster care program. And without you, we would have no place for children to be. And I don't want any foster parents to ever forget that. And what this program will mean for you is that when you get the call and you really don't have room for a child, you will be able to say, I don't have room. And you won't feel bad about that. And you also won't feel bad or feel worse when you get the call when you say, I can take one, but I can't take three, when children have to be separated. So I think this campaign, for us, it's huge, it's so optimistic, it's so forward-looking. And I guess when I thought about what we could do today to say, how our association and our foster parents feel about this campaign, I couldn't get anybody to do cartwheels across the front of the room or to sing Celebration, but those were the things that I was thinking about, that we really have lots to celebrate. And I think most of all for the children and families who require foster care, this campaign is fabulous. So again, thank you to the Minister, thank you to the Department, and this is real good news. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Diane. Diane has been a wonderful partner in all of this, and you are so lucky to have Diane as Executive Director and Ruby as Chair of the Board. And as she said, our foster families are the most important people here other than our children today. I remember when I was campaigning and I went into a house in my district, and those people are here today, and I came away and I said to Mabel, who works a lot on this work in our department, I said, my God, the house, it was just like full of love, and you could feel it from the minute you walked in the door. It was absolutely amazing, and I'll never forget it. So I know what an impact our foster families have on the children. I was at the kickoff of Foster Families Week a couple of weeks ago, I guess now, Diane. And what's really amazing, and I've seen a lot of these children at various events, but what is truly amazing is how resilient these children are. You would never know that these children were children that were in foster homes or were in care. They were just happy-go-lucky and just absolutely amazing. And Mabel knows all of our kids, and she knows where every one of them are around the province. And one little child, I want to get into gender, but you know, he had come such a long way in a year, and they would tell me, and the foster parents would tell me the stories, and I can't get into the specifics of what it was, but it's just the difference that a year makes, the difference that a month makes, and the difference that even one night makes for these children to have that nurturing love goes a long way. My daughter, who's 3.5, also went to that kickoff with me. And I take her to a lot of events, and I don't know, some people might say it's a form of child abuse in itself, and they might report me to my own department. But she really picks up on things, and 2 weeks ago we were driving to Greens Harbour, and she had a little scribbler and pretending to write, and I said, what are you doing? And she said, I'm writing my Christmas list. And I said, well, what's on your Christmas list? And she said, well, first I want to spend the day with my sister. Now, it's not her sister, it's her cousin, but even at daycare, when there's family pictures, she's drawn in there as her sister. And the other thing she had down was more foster homes. And it stopped me dead in my tracks. And I called my comm director 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning. She's like, oh my God, what's wrong, mister? I said, you just got to hear this, like, amazing. Andrew would love to have that for the commercial. But she picks up that stuff, and she says, you know, Mommy, you and Kathy Dunderdale help the children at work, and I'll help the babies at daycare. But they really, you know, this reaches from very young to her age to all ages, and you're going to have to stop crying, Cronin. Because I'm struggling here. But this, you know, there's nothing more important that we're doing in government than what we're doing with children in this department. And when the Premier asked me to take this on 2 years ago, she told me that, and she's absolutely true, and it's the most valuable thing I've done in the 9 years I've been in government. Now back to business. The Foster a Future, Foster a Child Today campaign is one of the supportive initiatives in our government's overall commitment to foster families. In Budget 2012, People in Prosperity, our government introduced the new continuum of care strategy that we announced at the National Foster Care Convention back in June. And I remember the chair for all of Canada was there, and she said, Newfoundland and Labrador gets an A+. You are doing better than any other province I've ever seen. And that speaks to the work that we're doing with the association, with the foster parents, and the staff in my department who work so hard on this, and of course to government's commitment. Highlights of the strategy include the replacement of the existing continuum of out-of-home placement options by a new level system that will come into effect this January. This new level system recognizes the experience, the skills, and training of foster parents, and if children and youth cannot be matched with a relative or significant other, because we really believe kinship is the best thing when they can't be with their parents, they will be matched with a foster family that will best meet their specific needs. Block funding is also coming into effect this January. And this is one of the things that I heard from foster families when I ran around and talked to them. And this means that they'll be reimbursed for certain costs such as social, recreation, transportation, and weekend respite in the form of a block transfer of funds. The way it would work before is that they would have to put in receipts, they would wait, who knows, a month or two to get their money back. And then, of course, that had to be processed at the office. And we did away with that because we want our foster parents to do what it is we ask them to do. and also to cut down on the administration so everybody can be more child-focused. And that'll come into effect in January as well. So this is results-based, not receipts-based, we say. Of course, as we continue to identify and develop these improvements with the implementation of the new Continuum of Care strategy, this would not be possible without our valued partnership with the Newfoundland and Labrador Foster Families Association, and we will continue to work, I know, collaboratively with Diane and the association as our government continues to strive towards building the best child protection system, not only here, but right throughout the country. That is our goal. I would also like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the commitment of all foster families across the province. It is so wonderful to see so many of you here this morning. The dedication you have for the wonderful work you do each and every day for our province's children and youth is so appreciated. I believe this new recruitment campaign being launched today mirrors your passion and will encourage more potential foster parents to get involved. So once again, I thank you all for coming out today. I thank Spark Marketing for their work into this. I thank the foster parents, the association, the staff. My former deputy is here. Mabel is down there with tears in her eyes. You know, anybody and everybody, and especially Allan Hawco. This will go such a long way in helping us with this campaign. So thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule.